Hey everyone, today on People Now, the Bella twins welcome baby boys one day apart. See the adorable pics. Love is in the air for Demi Lovato and her fiancé as they have a romantic date night. August is Clear the Shelters month, and we've got your top tips for adopting a pet this year.
The art of reading the room.
Real Housewives of Potomac star Giselebryant is weighing in on the drama this season and what she thinks of the new housewife, Wendy. Plus, Mayor Michael Tubbs is here to talk about the HBO documentary that details his life and time in office. Find out why he initially said no to being a part of it. All that and more today on People Now. Let's go. Hey everyone, welcome to People Now. I'm Andrea Boehlke. Hope you had a great weekend and hope you're having a good Monday so far. Jeremy is off today, but you will hear from him later on in the show. We have a lot to get to today, starting off on a sad note. So here's what you need to know and what's trending for your Monday. Multiple outlets are reporting that Frank Ocean's younger brother died in a car accident over the weekend. Authorities responded to a single vehicle traffic collision in Thousand Oaks, California at about 1:30 a.m. on Sunday. According to the Ventura County Sheriff's Office, the vehicle was engulfed in flames upon their arrival. 2 male passengers inside the vehicle were pronounced dead at the scene by the Ventura County Fire Department. The Thousand Oaks Acorn was first to report that the 2 victims were 20-year-old Ezekiel Bishop and Ryan Bro, the 18-year-old brother of singer-songwriter Frank Ocean. Authorities said an ongoing investigation showed that the car appeared to leave the roadway and collide with a tree in the center median. A rep for Ocean did not immediately respond to people's request for comment. Bro's mother posted a few throwback photos of her son in September for his 18th birthday, writing that he was brave, beautiful, and kind, loving, and genuine. And she was clearly a proud mom, posting lots of pictures to celebrate his various life milestones, including starting his senior year of high school and his first time flying to another country by himself. Pierce Brosnan's son Paris posted a touching tribute to Instagram Sunday night, remembering Bro as someone who was, quote, talented beyond belief, possessed a heart of gold, had an energy that was infectious, a smile and laugh that lifted everyone's spirit, and was a loyal and authentic friend to anyone he knew. Brosnan went on to add, "Thank you for being there for me when I needed you most. Thank you for all the wild nights. Thank you for your music and all the late night studio sessions. Thank you for blessing us all with your presence on this earth. I will carry you in my heart always." A very touching tribute there. And our hearts go out to both of the victims' families and friends during this very difficult time. And now we switch gears to this. Love was in the air this weekend for Demi Lovato. On Sunday, Demi and her new fiancé, Max Ehrich, hit the town for date night, which included dinner at celebrity hotspot Nobu in Malibu, California. Demi posted a series of photos and videos to her Instagram story to document the occasion. In one, the couple is riding in the car listening to Sugar We're Going Down by Fall Out Boy. Demi jokingly captioned that video, "Thank God I ended up with an emo kid." For their romantic night out, Demi dressed up in a chic pink velvet dress and heels, while Max kept it casual in a distressed denim jacket and jeans combo. The duo was photographed wearing masks as they left the restaurant. They're clearly enjoying that newly engaged bliss. Max put a ring on it on July 22nd, less than 4 months after People first revealed they were dating. He popped the question in Malibu with a stunning diamond ring by celebrity jeweler Peter Marco. The ring is a mega-carat emerald-cut diamond stone flanked by 2 diamond baguettes. It is gorgeous. On Instagram, Demi opened up about saying yes to the man who made her want to, quote, be the best version of herself, explaining, "I knew I loved you the moment I met you." Demi also wrote that she's honored to accept Max's hand in marriage and is ecstatic to start a family and life with him. Max also shared his excitement on Instagram by writing that Demi is, quote, everything I could ever dream of, and then some, in a partner in life. He added, "I cannot spend another second of my life here on earth without the miracle of having you as my wife." Some congratulations are in order for the Bella twins. Over the weekend, the Total Bella stars both gave birth to healthy baby boys just one day apart. Nikki Bella and her fiancé Artem Chigvintsev welcomed their first child, a boy, on Friday. They shared the news on Instagram, writing that they couldn't be happier. Then, Nikki's sister Brie and her husband Daniel Bryan welcomed their second child on Saturday, also a baby boy. He joins 3-year-old big sister Birdie Jo. And it seems like the twins might have coordinated their Instagram announcements with each other. Both photos don't show any faces, instead features mom and dad holding their newborn's tiny hands. Very cute. In January, Nikki and Brie revealed to People exclusively that they were both pregnant and that their due dates were less than 2 weeks apart. Brie told us at the time that she and her husband found out they were pregnant after they decided to stop trying after 7 or 8 months, while Nikki told us that being a mom is something she has dreamed of her whole life. Since their announcement, the twins have been documenting their pregnancies on social media and their YouTube channels. During a May episode of the Bellas podcast, Nikki revealed that she and Artem had a health scare with their then unborn baby, with doctors worried they saw something in the baby's heart. But Nikki assured her listeners that everything, quote, came out great after a checkup, adding that they were blessed and happy by the positive news. Back in June, Nikki and Artem revealed the sex of their baby during the season 5 finale of Total Bellas. She originally planned a baby shower, but had to cancel due to the coronavirus pandemic, telling People in April that she was bummed, but adding, quote, my baby and I are healthy. I feel so grateful for that because of what the world is going through. Definitely a blessing, and our congrats to the Bella twins. And now we move on from one set of famous sisters to another. While the Bella twins are conquering childbirth, Dakota and Elle Fanning are taking on the latest viral TikTok challenge. Watch. The Fanning sisters are following in Cameron Diaz's footsteps after she attempted the viral TikTok wine challenge last week. On Sunday, Dakota shared an adorable video to Instagram with Elle sitting between her legs, holding the bottom of a wine glass in her mouth. She then slowly tilted her head back while trying to pour the wine into Dakota's mouth. It's pretty funny. And we gotta say, the girls did pretty well. Dakota successfully finished the glass before the sisters burst out laughing together. And as far as we can tell, they didn't spill a single drop. Pretty impressive. Dakota and Elle's attempt at the challenge comes after Cameron Diaz tried it in her first ever TikTok video on Thursday. The post was extra special to Cameron because she completed the challenge using her new organic wine called Aveline. Before posting the TikTok, Cameron appeared on an episode of Late Night with Seth Meyers to explain why it was so important to her to offer an organic wine option. She told Seth that, like many people, she tries to make an effort to consume organic groceries and wear organic fabrics. And one day she realized, quote, it wasn't a given that her wines were organic. She said she used that as the pillar of her company.
Stay with us. Michael Tubbs is the youngest and first Black mayor of Stockton, California. He's also the subject of a new HBO documentary about his life. He's going to be here to tell us all about that. Plus, it's never too early in the week for a TBT. We're taking a walk down memory lane with actor Ben McKenzie as he reminisces about all things the OC. Stick around for that.
Well, it's officially August, which means it's also Clear the Shelters month. And these cuties and thousands more furry friends just like them are looking for their forever homes. For the 6th year, NBC and Telemundo-owned stations are partnering with GreaterGood.org to help shelter pets find loving homes through their Clear the Shelters campaign, which to date has found homes for more than 400,000 animals nationwide.
It's really incredible. And if you've been considering adopting a pet during these socially distant months, now is the perfect time. Here are some quick tips to keep in mind when adopting. 1, if you're a renter, confirm in advance that your landlord allows pets. 2, make sure that any of your existing pets' vaccinations are up to date. And 3, arrange to meet the animal in person if possible. 4, don't forget about the older pets. We all know puppies are cute, but senior animals often need less training and are in need of being adopted as well.
And lastly, be patient. Shelters are operating with reduced staffs right now, so it may take extra time for them to return your calls and emails. But as any pet owner can tell you, it will be worth the wait. The annual Clear the Shelters TV special will air on August 28th with New Amsterdam star Ryan Eggold as host. Eggold, who grew up with rescues, says that adopting a pet is beyond worth it. In fact, he has spent much of isolation in his Los Angeles home with his 12-year-old rescue pit bull named Jody, who he adopted from a shelter in 2008.
Yeah, when asked to host this year's Clear the Shelters special, Eggold jumped at the chance. He credits Jody's companionship with taking the edge off of being cooped up at home and adds that if you're going to be spending more time at home, adopting a pet will change your home life for the better.
This year, because of the pandemic, adopters can see their perfect pet on virtual platforms hosted by We Rescue and 24petwatch.com, which are working to simplify the pet adoption process and offer access to more than 1,000 shelters across the country. For more information, you can pick up a copy of this week's People or go to cleartheshelters.com.
Ben McKenzie is the latest celeb to swing by Couchsurfing, and of course, he and host Lola Ogunaike had to get nostalgic and talk about the OC. Ben opened up about his instant stardom as a result of that show and about Misha Barton, aka Marissa Cooper's tragic ending in season 3. Watch this.
How quickly did your life change and how did you adjust to that level of fame?
There's no easy transition from sleeping on the floor of your friend's apartment in the valley, the San Fernando Valley, and driving a $500 car you bought off of the Penny Saver, to, hey, you're going to be one of the leads of a new, show that happens to hit the zeitgeist and take off.
When did you realize that you just weren't on a normal hit show, that this was a juggernaut?
I had nothing to compare it to. I didn't even have, most actors who have the luxury of even getting a hit show have done, many, many years of work prior to that. So I was like, is this normal? This seems like it's going well, but I have nothing to compare it to. Is it going to be okay? It was a rocket ship, and I think we all kind of hung on for dear life.
Marissa, who was played by Misha Barton, dies in your arms at the end of this very season. How did you all react to the news that she was leaving the show?
It was odd, very odd to have someone who was in it from the beginning leave. But it was dramatic in all the OC ways. Car explosion and carrying her body from the explosion. It gave her a proper send-off, hopefully, I guess is the way to say it.
You can watch Ben McKenzie dive into his other roles and catch all the full episodes of Couchsurfing streaming right now on PeopleTV.
Season 5 of The Real Housewives of Potomac premiered Sunday night on Bravo. And last week, our producer, Sam Belikoff, sat down with giselebryant to talk about her love life and the headline-making drama between Monique Samuels and Candace Dillard. Today, we've got more from Giselle, all about what's to come this season with the other ladies. Watch this.
Going into this season, how do you define it for yourself? How do you feel about it?
Okay, as I look at all of us, I feel like Robin is a true winner of the season. I mean, you're able to follow her story from like beginning to end, and she has a wonderful ending, the big rock on her finger. For me, I think it's, I can't really tell. I can never really tell until it's over.
Since you mentioned Robin, she and Juan got re-engaged in December. It's been always thought of by fans, about you on the cast, like, will this happen? Like, did you genuinely think it was gonna happen?
No, not up until the second that it did happen. And mind you, you'll see throughout the season that I was a part of the whole process of them getting engaged. So I was nervous, I was frantic, but thank God it happened. And I'm so happy for them. I really learned more about their relationship. I've known them forever, but I've learned so much more about their relationship this season than I have in the entire time I've known them.
Wendy is Black Girl Magic personified.
So I am a professor at Johns Hopkins University.
She could read a book, honey, and she could read you down.
Bye, Wendy. Dr. Wendy, address me correctly, sweetie.
I mean, I guess that PhD comes in handy.
What was your first impression of the new housewife, Wendy?
Well, first, of course, always it's thinking, is this person going to be able to fit with the group? And are they going to talk too much? Because we've had to deal with some people in the past that have talked too much. And are they going to be cool enough to just hang out and can we have fun with this person? So I was a little wanting to see, kind of sitting back and observing. And it didn't take long before I totally fell in love with Wendy.
So obviously not asking you to spoil anything throughout this whole interview, we're just teasing, but did your impression of her change throughout the season?
No, I actually, kind of, only for the positive. I have major respect for Wendy, and as time goes by, I had even more respect for her. I mean, you can see from the trailer that she says she has 1,800 degrees, and she's so very smart, and I was like, yeah, whatever. But she really is a smart girl, and she really does have a lot of degrees, and she's really just someone that, even though they're so uber smart, you still want to hang out with them.
Yeah. Who would you say that she has the most friction with?
Karen. Karen was unimpressed, and she's always so unimpressed. So, that plays out throughout the season.
What do you think is at the root of Wendy and Karen's issues?
Karen doesn't like Wendy because Wendy can actually articulate all of her words. She can talk in paragraphs, and Karen cannot. So it's Karen sees, I think, Wendy as a really smart woman, and I think that bothers her. I went to talk to Karen on Wendy's behalf. Like, what is your issue with this, with Wendy? I mean, you know, she's new to the group. She's just trying to fit in. Like, I didn't really understand what Karen's problems were. We found out later what Karen's issues with Wendy was. We found out the whole thing.
Okay, we'll have to watch and see. Wendy's tagline is, "The professor has arrived and class is officially in session." Does she ever school you?
Of course not. Of course not. But there was no real need for that. You know, I felt like she was someone that could stand on her own 2 feet. And if I ever needed to quit, you know what? There was a moment that we had that I was actually schooling her a little bit, just about the dynamics of the group. And she received it very well.
I was gonna say, if you ever had to be a professor and teach a class, what would your class be about?
The art of reading the room. Because you have to read the room before you read the room.
Yes, of course.
Are you in love with me?
But over time, things change.
I'm done. We've been together 25 years. I just left in a heart.
From the trailer, Karen and Ray seem to be having issues with their marriage. Were you surprised that she was so open with the rest of the group about her issues, or at least from the trailer, it looks like she was open about it?
Yes, because they do, you know, Karen likes to put up a very good facade, and she likes for the whole world to think that she's perfect and she's the grande dame and she's very important. So for her to really kind of open up and be honest, and I don't know if it was Karen talking or the liquor talking, but she at least opened up to say, you know, things aren't what she thought they would be at this point in time in her marriage, was a big deal.
Yeah. Your friendship with her is always up and down. This season, is it more up or more down?
It's a roller coaster. I think right now we're down. Karen, towards the end of the season, kind of shocked me a little bit as it relates to our friendship. And she did some things that I would never have done to her, just out of respect. So I think right now we're struggling a little bit with regards to how we define respect in our relationship.
Yeah. I was going to say, you know, going off of that, during this pandemic, who are you in touch with? Who are you talking to? And are you able to see anyone, or
yeah, recently I saw, Robin and I invited ourselves over Candace's house, and she opened the door, and her husband cooked for us, so that was fantastic. So I saw those two. I have talked to Wendy. I talked to Wendy actually a lot, well, enough, and I talked to Ashley.
I was giggling at she opened the door. She didn't, you know, take your cookies and go.
No, she let us in.
There was a lot of drama surrounding Ashley and Michael's relationship last season, to say the least. And from the trailer, it seems like there's more drama.
I don't have the sex drive that I used to have.
Several strippers.
What? Oh my God. He was asking who he can take to a hotel nearby?
This is like it.
We ended up going back to a hotel.
Did what went down between them this season shock you?
They were more open about their problems than they have been in the past. I think that it was, like in the past, we got a lot of denial, but this season I think that they were honest, they were at a place of vulnerability, and Ashley really trusted some of the ladies, me as one of them, with her business, with her, you know, marriage problems, which was actually kind of refreshing.
Yeah. What do you think made her more open?
She had no choice. I felt like she had no choice. We've hit rock bottom.
Because she was closed off last season, you're saying, so to kind of rebuild friendships and
anything that has happened with Michael in the past, you know, Ashley's obviously stood by his side, as she of course should do. However, it was a lot of just denial about Michael's behavior, and we didn't see that this season.
You can watch Gisele in season 5 of The Real Housewives of Potomac. New episodes air Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Bravo.
Having to hold my mom while she cried, hearing gunshots at night. I remember how hard it was to grow up. I think that quote, "be the change that you wish to see in the world," is super important, because oftentimes people get scared to try to make change because it's like, well, what if it doesn't work?
In 2016, at the age of 26, Michael Tubbs became the first black mayor of Stockton, California, making him one of the youngest mayors in the entire country. Now, he's the subject of a new HBO documentary. It's called Stockton on My Mind. It details his life and time in office. And I caught up with the mayor himself, where he told me whether he had any reservations about being the subject of that film. Watch.
I started out as a no, a hard no, actually. Because when I ran for city council, there's a documentary made about that, and that process was just exhausting and very intrusive. And it also just brought other people under scrutiny. But then I said no initially, that I met with Mark, and I told him that my reservations were that the story is so much bigger than me. And it wouldn't be an accurate portrayal of what's happening in the city if it's just told through the lens of the mayor.
Right.
And I said, but if you could find a way to incorporate other people, particularly other people whose stories aren't usually told, young people, formerly incarcerated people, young people in poverty, and tell their stories. And to his credit, he did that. And once that happened, I was on board until I paused again when I saw how much my father was in the film. So I was like, oh my, what? I just had no idea that I had interviewed him. I had no idea he had such a role. So I was very uncomfortable at first. But then after talking with my mom and my wife, I realized that A, it makes the story that much more rich. And B, it also, it's not fair for his story and his life to be told through my filtered and biased gaze. Like I of course, as a 7-year-old without having a father, my view of him is different than probably what actually happened. So I'm glad that he has had the opportunity to share his story as well.
Mayor Tubbs has already accomplished so much during his time in office. He says he's most proud of two things: a sustained reduction in the city's homicides and the Stockton Scholars Program, which guarantees young people a scholarship to either a 4-year school, a 2-year school, or a trade school. With all of his success in life so far, I asked him for the advice he has for the younger generation.
My main message for young people is what John Lewis told me when I was a 21-year-old running for city council. He said, young man, get in the way and make good trouble. And what I take from that is that he was saying that when things aren't going right, when things need to get better, you can't just sit back and wait. That you have to get in the way. And getting in the way is not fun. Getting in the way comes with pushback. Getting in the way comes with, at least for me, trolls on social media. Getting in the way comes with intense backlash oftentimes. But I'll also add to what he was saying, but also be educated. Because I would say as a policymaker, there's nothing more disheartening when folks have the passion and the energy and the time, but they come, but they're not quite knowledgeable of who actually makes this decision or what's actually happening or what can actually be done with this particular funding. So I would say make good trouble, get in the way, but be educated. Our civil rights heroes, they studied nonviolence for months before they did anything. They studied the problem, they diagnosed the problem, then they acted. So I would encourage everyone to get as educated as possible on the issues you care about. So when you speak to those in authority, you have facts and you have a clear path for how to get to the solutions that we all want to see.
All right, everyone, be sure to check out Mayor Michael Tubbs in the HBO documentary Stockton on My Mind. It is out right now.
All right, coming up tomorrow, comedian Jeff Foxworthy joins us to tell us more about his new show, What's It Worth? He's virtually traveling across the country to uncover unique items and collectibles and sharing the stories behind them. A really cool concept there. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.